One of the hardest truths I ever had to accept was realizing the narcissist was never confused about hurting me. I kept thinking, maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they were overwhelmed. Maybe they just didn't understand what they were doing. But deep down, they understood perfectly, because people who accidentally hurt you don't repeatedly do the exact same thing after you explain your pain. Part 1. The lie that keeps you stuck. This is the trap so many people fall into in narcissistic relationships. You confuse inconsistency with confusion, but those are not the same thing. Because narcissists know exactly when to ignore you, come back, apologize, disappear, love bomb you, punish you with silence. None of it is random. And the painful part? You spend months trying to explain your feelings to someone who already understands them. They just don't value them. That's why the cycle never changes. Not because they don't understand your pain, but because your pain is not stopping them from getting what they want. Part 2. The moment you start waking up. I remember the moment things started changing for me. Not because they suddenly became cruel. They had already been cruel. It changed when I noticed something terrifying. They could remember every detail that mattered to them, but suddenly became confused when it came to the things that hurt me. They remembered what offended them, what made them angry, what they wanted from me, but somehow they forgot the boundaries I repeated 100 times, the conversations about my pain, the emotional damage they caused. And that's when I realized selective understanding is not confusion, it's avoidance. Part 3. Why they keep coming back. One of the most emotionally confusing parts of narcissistic relationships is that they often come back after hurting you. And when they come back, you think, maybe now they understand. Maybe this time is different. Maybe they finally see my value. But usually, they are not returning because they change. They are returning because access to you was useful to them. That's why the cycle repeats. Because your forgiveness becomes predictable. And when someone learns they can hurt you, leave, return, and still keep access to your heart, the behavior continues. Part 4. The truth that sets you free. Healing started when I stopped asking, how do I make them understand my pain? And started asking, why am I fighting so hard to be understood by someone who benefits from misunderstanding me? That question changed everything, because closure did not come from finally explaining myself perfectly. It came from accepting that some people hear your pain clearly, and simply decide it is not important enough to change for. That truth hurts, but it also sets you free. If you are in this situation right now, please stop blaming yourself for not communicating better. Most people trapped in narcissistic relationships overcommunicate. You explained, you cried, you clarified, you gave second chances, you tried to fix things peacefully. The problem was never that you cared too little. It's that you kept giving empathy to someone who used your empathy against you. And I need you to hear this clearly. Someone who loves you should not need repeated explanations to stop hurting you. The hardest part of healing is accepting that the version of them you loved was not the version that kept hurting you. And once you finally see that clearly, you stop chasing confusion and start protecting your peace. If this resonated with you, this channel is for you. Because here on Love Unfiltered, we tell the truth people are usually too afraid to say out loud.